Hey everyone, welcome back. Roman came out with new shades for their The Juice and Lasting Tint. This is in the renewed formula which recently came out. They also do have a black shade. Alright, so starting off first, we're going right in with 25 Blackberry. As you can tell, it's a black shade. It does look quite similar to the promotional pictures. For the gradients, we sort of have this gray black color. I mean, to be honest, I wasn't expecting much from this, but it actually doesn't look too bad. My only concern about this is that it is a little bit difficult to have an even application. It does transfer easily if I pat it like this. It transfers easily. So you do have to be careful with not eating or drinking because I think it would just look very uneven. Definitely do need some kind of brush to even it out. But I think for this shade color, the finish looks really nice. Very nice gradients, and I do like the glossy finish of this as well, and on the Cupid's bow. So it gives a very dull like gradient effect. It's just really hard to control the color and make sure that it doesn't transfer. So now over the folic, it did get a little bit darker. This is the darkest that I can kind of get it. Not gonna have much of an even application. The glossy finish makes this shade look really nice. I think this will look really good with glitter on top, or if you want to beautify and add a little bit of black to a certain lip color. So really nice to mix with other lip products. It also looks nice by itself. It's a little bit more high maintenance for me. There's not much of a grape undertone, so it definitely is going to look more like a pure black type of color, if that makes sense, like a gray black. Let's go in with the transfer test. For this, it does transfer quite a bit. I do like the outline that it makes for the stain. So like this lip lining effect that's going on right now, I think it looks really nice like that, and then adding a gloss on top. I think that the formula is quite similar to previous shades. As you know, this is a renewed version of Juicy Lasting Tints, which is a different packaging. Just a little recap on the formula. The longer that you wear, the better the stain, and it does have a very beautiful dewy like gloss finish, similar to their dewy water tint or Peripera's Ink Mood Glowy Tint. It does have a slightly more gel-like formula to it. The finish is a little bit more see-through like for the Juicy Lasting Tint to give you that glossy look. And compared to the old formula, the new formula has a longer lasting gloss finish. Here's a comparison with Blackberry at the bottom, and on top of that is Clinique's Black Honey. They are quite different. This is 26 Mystic Peach. It's described as being a peachy red color. Similar muteness as the promotional pictures. Very beautiful fuchsia red type of color. It's not as bright or vibrant as it looks in the promotional pictures as well, so it's a little bit more mute. However, it does add a very nice semi-brightening effect. Nice pop of color. I'm not getting much peachy undertones for this, so it definitely looks more like a fuchsia red color. For the folic, it definitely looks a lot more rosy. I'm gonna go ahead and do a transfer test for this as well. It did transfer quite a bit, however it does have a pretty good stain. I find that the longer you wear these, the better the stain. So I have Mystic Peach at the bottom, on top of that is Cherry Souette. Cherry Souette slightly has a little bit more purple in it, but overall they do have a very similar muteness and color. Alright, next up, this says 27 Honeydew Melon. This is described as being a honeydew coral color. It does have a very similar undertone as the promotional pictures. However, it is a little bit sheer for the gradients look. Sort of this honeydew slash apricot peach color. For the gradients look, it is quite sheer, so it's not going to show as much. Very MLBB. Once it oxidizes, it does look a little bit more mute, so it's not going to be light and bright compared to the promotional pictures. For the full look, it did get a little more pigmented, a little more mute as well once it oxidizes. When you apply it, it does look like the promotional pictures, but it is going to oxidize, and once that does happen, it's going to look more like a peachy pink color. This is kind of reminding me of Peach Honeybee, so I'm gonna have to compare them later. The honeydew apricot undertones looks a lot more subtle. It's not too light or bright, looks more like an MLB pink color. And again, very beautiful see-through like gloss finish. Honeydew Melon is at the bottom, on top of that is Peach Honeybee, and then Bare Apricot. Bare Apricot is slightly more vibrant. It does have more of an apricot undertones as well. Honeydew Melon and Peach Honeybee have a very similar muteness. For Honeydew Melon as well, it does have more of an apricot undertone. Peach Honeybee is slightly more of a peachy pink undertone. This is 28 Snow Strawberry. This is described as being a milky pink strawberry like color. All of these are inspired by some kind of fruit. So this one is inspired by a pink strawberry. And again, it has a very similar undertone as the promotional pictures, but again, it does oxidize to be a little bit more mute. This is definitely more of a cool tone shade, a very bunny's tongue type of pink color. As it's oxidizing on my lips, I do kind of see a little bit of a purple undertone, lilac pink color. For the full look, it did get a little bit more pigmented. I have this lilac pink purple color. It's semi-brightening, so it's still going to keep its brightness the more layers that you apply. This kind of reminds me of lilac cream from their Dewy Full Water tint. I have Snow Strawberry at the bottom, and then on top of that is lilac cream from their Dewy Full Water tint collection. Overall, they do look quite similar in muteness and shade. Next up, this is 29 Joseon Fig. It's described as being an Elmo BB Fig color. A little bit similar to promotional pictures, but it's not as rosy as it looks in person. It looks more like a fuchsia pink color. I think this is a little bit more cool tone as well. For the full look, we have a very beautiful MLBB pink color. Again, this doesn't have any rosiness to it. A very beautiful fruity like color. A little bit similar to the previous one, but this is slightly more warm tone. You'll see from the hand swatch. At the bottom is Joseon Fig, and on top of that is Joking Pink, which is a new shade that recently came out. Once they oxidize, they do look quite similar in muteness and shade. Last but not least, we have shade number 30, a very beautiful pink brown color. This is described as being a neutral brown color. It does have a little bit more warmth in it. It looks a lot better in person. The more they apply, the more muted it is going to be. You can see more of a brown. At the bottom, I have shade 30, and on top of that is Scotch Nude. Very similar undertones. You have this brown color, but Scotch Nude can go a few shades darker. At the bottom here, I have Baddie Beige, which has a similar muteness, but slightly more purple, less pink. I'd say Baddie Beige has like a purple undertone, and then for 30, it has more of a pink undertone. So for my intro and outro video, I want to use Blackberry as sort of a lip lining effect. I'm gonna go in with Honeydew Melon as a base color, and then I'm gonna add Joseon Fig in the center of my lips. Definitely not a typical Korean lip thingy, but I kind of wanted to try it out with the black lip product. So my top 3 picks today are shade number 30, 25 Blackberry, and 27 Honeydew Melon. Blackberry is really good for a lip lining effect, also to apply on top of other lip products or mix. I think shade 30 is a little bit difficult to find in the market. Very beautiful champagne brown. Honeydew Melon I recommend if you're looking for a peach honeybee shade that you're not able to get a reach of. As I mentioned earlier, the formula is quite similar to previous shades for this new renewed formula. The gloss does last longer than the previous formula, so it is a lot more moisturizing. Very beautiful glossy finish as well, and also the longer that you wear, the better the stain. Most of them did look a little bit more MLBB, so they are going to look a little bit more sheer, and then you layer it and apply more for pigmentation. Overall, I had a lot of fun swatching these. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.